Ninja, I mean, so make a so you're stupid, maybe because now maybe on my now old friend is stupid. What have I done to deserve? I don't them ready up at one mebusu. Say, yeah, it's not that it's right, but assuming we all can understand it be a cuckoo simple thing. When who say be an akuma, sorry, I can understand. And I'm a practical person, and you're my thinking. Don't say be a party, say, at this simple way now, to say be an akuma, a basru kakra is understandable. But we want to be, and my friends say, you so. And yet you are calling me stupid. So I also say he's stupid.
Okay, so let think people me bow Swiss, but just having this information, say the OSP are responded to a year in Komodo Dona Outcome. Just a brief of the Office of the Special Prosecutor has dismissed suggestions by private legal practitioner Martin Pebu that the office is investigating itself, calling the claim a deliberate distortion of standard institutional procedures. It goes on to say the OSP clarified that its investigators are highly ranked officers, contrary to Mr. Pebu's assertion that the case was being handled by junior staff. And I quote, Mr. Pebu repeatedly misleads the public by claiming that those handling the case are junior officers. In reality, their ranks are equivalent to deputy commissioners of police, Samedako and Ekase. And also, the OSP argued that fact-finding committees are a normal feature of public institutions and not equivalent to self-investigation. Police misconduct is not investigated by fire service officers, and GRE misconduct is not investigated by immigration officers. The principle is the same. And the office further accused Mr. Kpebu of creating deliberate obstacles to avoid cooperating with investigators. He refuses to cooperate, demands that certain officers be removed, gets his wish, and then introduces a new obstacle. Irasamedako and the Gusichip. Despite this, the OSP says its officers have remained professional. The office has simply applied the law to protect its personnel. Nobody is above the law. End of statement. So that's from the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Yes, Master, we can't be here no line by line. It can even take us 1 hour. Mention you bit me about it till. Master, your friend say, so far, conversation may be so. Did I use the word junior officers? Did I use the word junior officer in the institution is different from, let's say, Omoshekisi Ejabiase. You see that thing, all the moment now, all throw irrelevant questions. Now we who say, if we are to me, simple, he doesn't understand. The word is subordinate. A subordinate doesn't mean junior. Tell me, catch on, tell me that. Sure, okay. Yeah, no money more. Thank you, no money to for that. This simple thing. The word I use means subordinate. And I'm say almost kisiase. The people, let me repeat. Abraham Ablomensa. Also, kisi jabiase. The next one, Albert Paddington, or a lawyer. Also, kisi jabiase. There are about, I don't know, there are a number of directors there. But kisi jabi is the special prosecutor. When you ask and I say, until no same dakwa or kasei. I didn't use the word junior. I've never used it. I may say, you know, for a Ghanaian, only me juma. When so common the word subordinate or who or if he says subordinate, let's say junior. A bear say no more for that in Jani. Or no Same Dako can be Sane say, or could you how many years me? When say rank na Same Daku Kurano, it is a commissioner of police. What's Same Dako? I see the Kurana we law school. Look, minimum lawyers are law school 25 years, okay, a binye, the commissioner of police. So when you say Samedako, ne rank, when you say what's the commissioner of police, Samedako, would have been a Samedako law school. That then cases na Samedako to court pan. Oh, share lawyers are, or more lawyers a cuckoo dam. Besides Samedako say Okahubiana. So when you are near Gusuni, I say, oh, and I am Wama institutions in your year. That's another Yama, Bisano. After that, put him on air. Let Bisano say, we didn't fear him as a lawyer. Let Bisano say, title now, Okura at OSP, no, or the ranking police service, and the title, no, yet, and I want to be who say the yes, chair positions were all free. Bisa Samidako, person interview, bisa no simple question. Samidako, rank now, ukura or director of this no, what they call police service or dear rank, obeti. When you know for aha, oh, say oko kanto kwa boni ya ibeka wingi na menepi. Nti ama wo Samidako anka or Samidako na police anka ba na untini di superintendent kra. Or they are now the maximum superintendent. In lawyers or more police service, or more 20 years. I think no more this ACP. In lawyers or more 20 years. I think no ACP. All right. So Samidako, you are less than 15 years at the bar. 15 crime the Bia Kanwam and the pan. So we shall title. The general send this on Tiasemase. And let's go to the other part. I say GRA. We investigate GRA. This one we investigate. I may say we know a corruption. GRA, who call GRA? Do they investigate corruption and corruption-related activities? These are very serious matters. I say my board no and constitute. So the board will decide. They will find a way of doing independent fact finding. You don't use subordinates. Yeah, I say no canon. GRA no canon. Masamida could make us say. A big car some against GRA boss. Almost the command the subordinate. Obi koka fire service. Almost the command the junior you see after you see junior. Maybe you see the word subordinate. And even when you use the word junior krana, you can say somebody is junior to the OSP. When you see phrase now can say or a junior to the OSP, it means or a subordinate. But okay, junior officer, may different. But ono Samida could say, Chimu, sorry, Potokasa, okay, is junior to Kisi Jabia. It's not wrong. The fact says, or a senior officer, and it doesn't mean he cannot be junior to. It just means, say, and you're not a boss. And she always says, simple, and I may say, Obia, Ofuriate Johnny, Omontier, who said, Omunia press conference, Omuntia, Yanko. Prevent you from travel. Many young one said simple words, say no, or the bend and number, not the water. I'm not surprised. Now, next thing, it's not. I've not said I'm not cooperating. I've told them, and I'm a catcher. If someone know all cano, and if they were serious, day one, or the Albert Rabbit now as teaching Albert Akuga Maka and Semitia, and how the Lebaba say on the information, no, and now or the other day, I send my year KBA, or send the Pananka now on. Or investigating the I Samida could serious at all. It's no, so me, corporate chair, as some way, whom some man for catch them is from the ones a man what listen, no, but I'm a citizen. I must say, and we have a duty, Article 41, we all have a duty to help prevent corruption here. And so I'm a Brabet here. I don't see anything wrong. So but from day one, citizens and you probably be catching some men they are not serious. Say, who said I'm not focused on men called they are not in yes, some person will say OSP Jumano. The intro of Mokasa, so much you say these guys are not serious. Because we'll be able to general man who Tapa Janino. Tell it, Massa. So Mokasa men comment corner. It's not that they don't think that I should cooperate. But one party says some men costume and apart from Furiata case, Mr. Massa, you wait in your cassia becoming in a year that. Some no doso nyama proya ne kata share ekoso wo no doso I mean come on.
But you have still not addressed the issue. You've chosen to go after Ubia engaging in services, Ghana engaging in services somewhere OSP. No moment walk after him. But in some of the two journalists say, oh bad the open na person mo yema. Inti san common na SF shawonieka.
I will end up repeating everything. So far, I'm a independence. No. So yes, I will repeat and repeat.
Okay. Now, Wadaruma, Hefana, Yadoko, Nami monitor Joy News and Rana Jono. Yes, ye do wako baby, a lawyer for Cran baby. I will never Hefano. NIB or former BNI near 37 years Blue Gate. NIB. My own friend we have to do reforms. So you do say in Muna Hona, call so that you call your family. And Sana, they will call. But maybe on this one, we a lawyer Penimu power or Mamuhan say. sa OSP asweye no anadwumako no ujiri se ho da so hia se yedidi dwuma wo man Ghana.
Yes, office no dem see say should continue. So far the problem is manager no. Manager no oni medjuma na ebeba no. We have to strengthen the selection process. Me enkofa obi a oye obi adanfo nti. Eno nti na yedi kisi kɔ hɔ. Enye exams na kisi tro ye. Bisa kisi say, how many criminal cases kana na we di court before I hear no OSP. In some of we PA I say we do. Ma kisi fa no profile mra. Say at the time I hear fa no OSP, how many cases? Was he the best lawyer? Asa I say kuku damo mugu otadio sorry mu esankuma mu osafu buabe. Chale kizito be you say lawyers omugu ho. But ekufu ado who say ompe omo jidin obi ani say kai o boy si mesidi I say masa what for lawyer mu lawyer. Oh, because they wanted to just use him no. No, we said that fan of so kisi na sample on your experience bia kisi nya lawyer kesi bisa into young fan on ko be who say the idea channel I have born a basota then we can turn him around. That's why Kufado choose him. On the first one we choose him Martinamidu. So we say Martinamidu or Castle or interfere with Martinamidu. So who you see into a second choice no. I don't know who say they be offer independent person and they are somebody that is a Martinamidu.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online. Tune it in. Turn it up. Hot Digital Online.
Hot. You boom Hot. You boom Mema wakwa baba Rehoboth Havens. Biaya ema wakwenya ma woni wabusua nya asetenapa esaya dan papa ne bo sha ase free $55,000 per Rehoboth Havens adan aya nwene ne yie esi ayi mensa damfa enya biaya ya tena keke eye biaya ema wa hotoso ne bambo fa no se wote mantemu a ahobambo sonko eni je biaye ne asumdua a eye ma wabusua wo ho Ghana fododo na ewa manone eni da so so mbetumi atofie wo Ghana eya kechiri esaya so di pie de omosonti na no kwasem ne se edise Ghana ni bia tumi ye fiura bebi a woni wabusua benya hotoso na asan ye japade amachirima sane ebeye obi bia benya kwenya aye fiura nti Rehoboth ne Ghana sikankrabia hodo aye hyehye sonko a ema wotofie na watua ne nkakra ne ehia ne se wode $5,000 beto ase na eno ma wakwenya ma utumi tu kotenemu na ne aka no watua ne nkakra Wama wemfie du baako a wodi betua woka sene ebeya ahokyere bia mmemu ye wo 2 3 4 bedrooms a ya hyede siesie no se ema wa hotoso bambo enne asetinapa mentwentwan wo na ase kra bo wodache ho ban ne freying wo +447 917 376 631 Ana +233 24 476 4499 ebiem +233 55 375 1933 Rehoboth Social Housing yama wani da so se obeye fiura bemu.
Let some people microphone no pay wasem they will believe you until sometimes devil advocate more more free me question now na ma a bit because when you say now okay it's worrying you are bringing that emotional now then your supporters would always support that's what we didn't be
your friend of mine in the Kwabna Santi
in Kwabna Santi
yes
yes okay make ID me these are Kwabna Santi so your supporters would then side with you on say nkrofu bi wo ho o mo pewa sema man ti wo ne obeka no mo di adwuma mpacho listen hey nyema na kisia ye even I don't want to go there na me say ye fa no one ye wie da me say let's repeat kisia tena wa ye hwe han ama ofuwe ta dwane na mo fi say no ye de no ntunche ne enkoka dia asem biu hey ofuwe ta na obi anim say when did it ever happen say president bidi ni nia be di finance minister Ghana bobusia na finance minister company no ayeye Ghana bobusia na finance minister company agibi ekufu ade obusia enye sika wo bi da na obi sa wo say wo 5 cases against him na afi what na ho wo say obekọ no listen oma krata na ochro say obetu kwan no wonsa ka copy nso say obebodewuru ana Ghana fa beboa no wo say wo call NIB na me say me NIB letter and I be trauma, me trauma, and I'm trauma back said they be kissy that be on my home. Many penny would that no so Kasai or say or no crowd on him kissy. I say, one man show for that. So I don't know. So please don't be using some of those adjectives worry near you. Maybe I say my own say, policeman at Trasiama, the suspect are all 5 cases against him. Suspect made Johnny. Now, if you say, young guy, we can, you send you. Policeman, Otiho, was suspect every Johnny. Was not 1 case, or suspect are all 5 cases against him. The most valuable suspect. So far, I'm not aware of any suspect or accused person, OSP, all 5 cases. I'm not aware. It's possible there are other people, but so far, based on public information, no, Nimobia, you want 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases against him. Nimobia, you want that number of cases against him. No, be too quiet. When Saka Kratano, or Betino, or the Wadu, now we diatro, now oh yeah, Kukwasa, now we diatro, Kukwasa. Now I feel say it's quite worrying. Next time, let's not do that. I understand the devil's advocate.
Lawyer Martin Bebuye, Bribia Daminu Shawa, only me Pim so sa a year. It will the infancy answer. Now, we are following it. Yeah, that's EP. So that's Lawyer Martin Bebu, private legal practitioner, and also the Nakosem.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Thanks to UnityLink, my life has become so much easier. I have on my phone in my palm right now the brand new UnityLink mobile app. It's free and easy to use, and I must say, it's fast, safe, and secure. UnityLink has the best exchange rates. Sending money to anybody is as easy as going through my phone book, selecting the person's name, bam, it's gone. It's really a great feeling when you know you can send money instantly to MTN, Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo. Easy. Now I can even transfer money from my mobile phone into my bank account and pick it up at the bank instantly. I can even send airtime to loved ones. The UnityLink mobile app makes it possible for you to send money to over 3,000 locations in Ghana. Now it's time for you to download the free UnityLink mobile app. On Android, go to Google Play Store. On iOS, go to Apple Store and get sending now. UnityLink mobile app. Money go, money come. Fast.
AJN and Co Limited. Wow! Quality accounting and tax services, and now officially recognized as one of the top 200 UK accountants in the 2016 Sunday Times list. Hooray! Come, let's do business and even save you more money. AJN and Co Limited. We are chartered certified accountants and business advisors. One of the finest in the country with quality professional services and excellent customer delivery. Our services include preparation of company and annual accounts, bookkeeping, self-assessment, payroll services, preparation of charity accounts, gift aid claims, tax planning, tax returns, business plans and advice, company registration, preparation of budgets, all kinds of mortgages and remortgaging. And now we are one-stop shop to arrange protection for general insurance, life cover, medical and health insurance, and income protection. We mean business. That is why we are now officially one of the top 200 accountants in the country. Papa. Yamaya budinya echese yaduma soeni. Entibra. Niyenya u tax returns. Eni wajuma hu sikasem mina emao. Na yababua u amuonya mortgage. Na ya ye insurance inshishaya efata wo wajuma eni wabusue nyina. So big companies, small businesses, charities, sole traders, self-employed, shops and restaurants. Please call Let's Do Business on 0163 447 0495. That's 0163 447 0495 or 0788 307 7742. Our address is AJN and Co Limited, Equitable House, 10 Woolwich New Road, London, SE18 6AB. Visit www.ajnandco.co.uk. Now officially a Sunday Times Top 200 accounting company.
Hey, I think you see December will be here. Hey, Mr. Crum have a yet the rough.
No, you have a crumb hand of it. And this is December, boxing on it.
And you're a boxing day. London have a yet the rough. Ay. Davison Band. What's the 26th December? By a Boxing Day extravaganza.
Love goes where love is. I can't deny it. If you feel me, come and join and sing the song. Hey,
be hot. Now sound will be hot. Orabado. Oh, Oasis Academy. Shelley Park. Shelley Road. Croydon. CR9 7AM. United Kingdom. Mecha UK. Or you cool 30 pounds. Demo programming. It is being hosted by DJ Foles. On your quick on frame porn. DJ on deck. Hey, DJ TQ. Supported by the Ghana Society UK, Rainbow Radio, Slicky Promotions, Cosmetic Cocktails, Tahoos Securities Limited, A-Class Official, Hot Digital Radio, Only B Sherry African Mart, Wabashasi, 7 p.m., Legacy 1 a.m., Eligiwenya Kapma when I bet you the Kofia Kanda, a special 20th anniversary edition, it's Afria, Bruta, when you take it to the B, our event rights, and also friends. 077 288 76.
Music is free. The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
All right, 2 minutes past 9 o'clock, and I'll pay you Hot Digital Online and the Hot Digital Online website. And then we take one of the issues, maybe we'll hope, but when you answer to me, and so I go through the Hot Digital Online website. All the information, current news, tidbits and more. And Martin Pebu was detained after allegedly obstructing the OSP's officers in the lawful execution of his duty at the office of the special prosecutor. And Martin Pebu and Yeti in Semna, on say special prosecutor to me and any duties ye Emma Furata, we use the word with Ghana. And Martin Pebu Warren, no, just say, or your ally to the Furata family. That just all no, the confidant of Furata, and not just Wajamu Furata to coin, and I can't say so into my Juma. Special prosecutor, or Cassa special prosecutor officers, Omo corrupt, was saying Akabium Uti in interview, or saying Akabium, Naga say, no, say, Nensama Waka can't special prosecutor, no. I will no effort say or no back to me aka but be your can a bear problem no or no I can't special prosecutor and say your office no or no incompetent to me in the Juma sending then die na ye na yaka. Na a detention bail was granted, however, when his legal team returned to finalize the bail formalities. They were told that Pebu was no longer at the OSP office and the whereabouts at the moment remained unclear. Did I just no Sunday do could be before on Rankasa Agent Radio Sukai. Like I said, he has also made a lot of revelations. The treatment he went through when he was being detained, and to the reported release after nearly 5 hours in custody, his detention under somewhat murky circumstances and questions around his missing from the office after bail, the unknown location. He raised serious concerns about due process, transparency, and independence of anti-corruption institution. Martin Pebu has in recent weeks been publicly criticizing or critical of the special prosecutor, the OSP handling of high-profile corruption cases. He had previously insisted that any investigation into his own corruption allegation against the special prosecutor should be handled by an independent panel, not by officers directly subordinate to the special prosecutor. And the critics have also said the arrest of retaliatory, i.e. an attempt by the OSP establishment to silence a vocal critic. Prominent legal voices have also condemned what happened. For instance, Victor Kojogan Adaudu described the arrest and detention as a clear blot on credibility of the special prosecutor. Now, on the other hand, the OSP maintained the arrest was conducted without force and maintained that no assault or physical mistreatment occurred during the detention. Meanwhile, some questions the procedural legitimacy of detaining someone who came to cooperate, especially given the bail was granted but not honored in the sense that the person was nowhere to be found. Why, beyond the obstruction allegations, was the decision taken to Kpebu rather than simply record the incident or allow bail on the spot? The explanation remains thin. Where exactly was Kpebu after held being released from the OSP premises? There was some mention of him being moved to another facility, possibly National Intelligence Bureau facility. And the confirmation remains murky. And in some course, so Martin Kpebu against the OSP. Like I said, some of our company says Martin Kpebu said the special prosecutor couldn't prosecute and couldn't arrest or detain Oforiatta before he left the country. Now, special prosecutor ne juma oyɛ no enye adea titru esweni nti special prosecutor no yenyi ne fio, but only the full say office no should still be remained. Na ne nsɛm a ɔkan na kyerɛ sɛ ɔkɔɛ no nsɛm a ɔne special prosecutor nipa no kɔdi nkɔmmɔ no anaaso sɛ yɛdetain no na kyerɛ sɛ ɔno feel say he's been maltreated. Nti this are the procedure special prosecutor no use whenever you, because they wanted Oforiatta to be invited by the special prosecutor to be detained in this way. So now, you see, you who seeks equity must come with clean hands. And Kpebu has become the bone of contention because he was vying for the arrest of Oforiatta because he thought Oforiatta has been absconded. Now, they asked the special prosecutor to arrest Oforiatta. Oforiatta wrote a letter to the special prosecutor before he left the country. In the special prosecutor, no, for one reason, we didn't know why he granted an interview with KSM and said, say, when Oforiatta was leaving the country, he, special prosecutor, even called the immigration, but there was no response. There was no availability. So what he did was, why? Because who was then in power? It was the NPP that were in power. So they have that amnesty to be granted to Oforiatta to leave the country unceremoniously. Meanwhile, Oforiatta wrote a letter to you. And the circumstances surrounding the whole issue is ambiguous. So that is an ambiguity in the issue. And Tisiana Kpebu has been the oversee Obia or no prese and chubin on Moyacheno. The complainant then accused. So now Kpebu is worried about the situation. Say now he's fighting the a special prosecutor. Inti onumum say yenchu Oforiatta and they achi onumum ama yamani bail. So how then we treat these issues? Iti anuhun sem ena ende. So now following the outbreak of Israel-Hamas war in October 2023, Elom Tete Tamaklo was filmed confronting a first-year Israeli business school student, Yoav Segev, while the latter tried to film the protest on campus. Prosecutors charged Tete Tamaklo, who was misdemeanor assault and also battery after Tete Tamaklo completed a court-ordered diversion program. Inti Abranti ono kusuade ewo university ewo Israel. Na Hamas ntokwe eno no status of film bibi wo ho. Inti he was arrested for misdemeanor charges, like I say, assault and battery. He did something that was parallel to Adiana Ekosu. Like I say, he could be giving some sentence ewo Israel. In his role, he advised Faculty of Curriculum Design, consult on complex academic material, reportedly earning stipend between around $3,400 and $11,040, depending on assignment. Indeed, when he was doing all these things, in fact, somebody also was a whistleblower and or put this gentleman into that problem. Aono was also in detention in Israel when the issue started, especially the Hamas-Israeli issues. All the issues that are paid was brought to you by kind courtesy Hot Digital Online website. Into core website now, we have all the current news updates. You can also channel and Google and find out the current news on Hot Digital Online website. You can get all the information, tidbit, and more in the meantime. Na yaboni tew. The naposu united for the pay. So the issue on board, Martin Kwebu and the OSP. Now let's listen to this audio soundbite.
People don't know how difficult it takes to convince one Northerner to vote for MPP.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Papa Way, he's my friend or my downfall. Also, he's also my committee chairman. But the the indication is very clear. So I won't pay us some. And he doesn't have good intentions for us. These are the two words I used. Because if you play the tape I was reacting to, you won't even want to play it. You won't even want to listen to it twice. And you see, oh, Papa Way, or my downfall is my friend. And or I'm a committee chairman, so. But if this is what he's saying about us, then on pay us some and on good intentions for us. These are the two words that I use. On pay us some. That's the translation, and he doesn't have good intention for us. And I don't know. And I move on to a different thing. And I never said anything. From there till now, I've never mentioned his name. Until August, this August, me wanna vrongo me ya campaign I'm about me. Now you wanna vrongo. And I received a call from Canadian. I'll even mention his name. We received a call from him. Say, hey, Nitiwo, now me feel say, oh, you're my downfall. And I said, of course, you are my friend. Me and my colleagues were saying, when you called, then I told them, oh, Papa will offer me into my minji call. And I stepped out and said, let me feel so you're my downfall. I said, of course you are my friend. You know that you are my friend. I don't have any problem against you. So I'm just watching a video. The way you were giving it to me, then I laughed. Both of us laughed. And we said, oh, but you know, I was reacting to what you said in Takra, in Western region. He said, oh, but this is past. I said, oh, so this is also past. Let's forget about it. I was reacting to you. August, oh. And I told him that it's you know there's 2023, and I was reacting to what you said then. It's not something we should bother ourselves. Let's forget about it. And Sana on making those allegations, not on him, because we spoke in August, not on him. Say 2023, and he also not on himself. So say I was reacting to him, but even the things he's saying now about us, Abuakwa, I won't say he ain't reacting. You see, he has said worse things about us, but you see, we have decided not to react. Some people wanted to react, and I told them, don't react. There's no point. So you're reacting all the negative things that some of the even people around 2 people I can mention their names said about us as Northerners. You're reacting because for us, you feel say if we don't react, it's better. So all the things they are doing, now Munim said there is no single tape of me, Nitiwo, in this campaign. I mentioned any negative thing about anybody. I don't do that. I was not trained like that. I could react to them even now, but I decided to say me reacting. This particular campaign, are there anybody to bring a negative thing that I said about him? This campaign, one single statement or tape, I said anything about him. But when you present it as if, hey, I changed it too, he has done some, it's correct. So what is your motivation to do that? You spoke to me in August, and we both and I told you, said, but this thing you are watching is 2023, and I was reacting to you what you said, and go back and listen to yourself whether you'll be happy. Will you be happy about what you said about Northerners? Then if I were you, I will not even mention this matter again. Let's forget about it. I'm not mentioning your name. I told him then, said me, I won't mention your name. I will say nothing about you in this campaign. All of us have agreed, say, we are not going to talk about anybody. We are going to focus on our candidate. And our candidate is Baumia. His strength, why we should vote for him. We are not talking about anybody. Until us, as MPs or anybody, we won't mention anybody's. We do have nothing to do with anybody. We are not talking about anybody. So this particular campaign that we started, we have never in our lives mentioned anybody's name, talk about anybody's name, because it was once I reacted to him because of those statements, very damning statements he said about Northerners. I reacted to him in 2023. in April or something like that, 2023. And since then, nobody has reacted to him. So for anybody to recycle this and try to think, say, no, maybe yes, sir. Play. There are two tips. You maybe one will finish. I'll play both of them to you. Listen and see whether if you're not, how you will feel. And if we hadn't reacted, because people would have been very angry with us if they had heard this tape and knew that nobody reacted. I don't know how we would have gone back to go and convince them, say, we should continue to support the party. But thank God at least somebody reacted.
30 minutes after 9.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
Even I assume without admitting that this 24-hour economy program will yield something. It would have made more sense to at least keep 1D, 1F while you are now ramping up your 24, so that you don't have zero in your year one, right, hoping that you use 3 years to do better than those 150. And if you look at the document that they have published, and even the amount of investment that is required to make it a reality, and the fact that they don't even have the funding for it, they've not done the feasibility studies for it, I'm telling you that it's not going anywhere. But that is just one of the many economic promises that they made, which, if you pay attention to the details, you find out it's not going to yield much.
And you talk about them promising over 800,000 jobs, yes, and 490,000 or so already, yes, that are there. And the road sector, the amount that has been allocated to ensuring the big push works. You do not think that this labor force, which you attribute to the road sector, and that's going to be manual labor, it's not going to be the kind of jobs that they presume they promised. In the end, the 24-hour economy will not work there. Roads are constructed all
As for the 24-hour economy, I tell you that go to bed. Look at, and you know, in this country, we have this habit of just listening to what people are saying, but we don't examine the actual data. I heard one of my colleagues from the NDC a few minutes ago saying that in 8 years, the MPP never built one hospital. And during the break, I was telling him that you should come to Achiase and come and look at the newly constructed Achiase District Hospital.
Built
and completed and opened and functioning. And there are many examples we can give. He goes on to say Agenda 101, 8 years, MPP couldn't finish one. He forgets that even as at 2021, we were now about to start Agenda 101. So it wasn't an 8-year matter. But this is what they do. They spew out these narratives, and the facts don't back them. So let me take you into this budget. They claim that this budget is the budget that will create growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Right. So you look at where they are investing. And this is what we should be measuring at the end of 2026 to find out if where they put their investment generated growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Right. But even what they've put on the table, if you take their Agri for Economic Transformation agenda, which is divided between what they call Feed Ghana and then Nkiti. And then you take their industrial program, and then you take their capital expenditure program. Look at what is happening. So on the capital expenditure program, they announce, like Trump will say bigly, that they are going to create 800,000 jobs. When you go into it, they are claiming that 500,000, nearly 500,000 of those jobs are literally going to be laborers working on short-term construction jobs.
These are jobs still.
No problem. But just step out there and ask the young people of this country whether this is what they promised and this is what they are expecting as the answer.
Okay, what would you say if people liken it to NACO? That was also a job, that policy that the actual government promised, and people said that it did not, materialize into what was expected.
NACO was supposed to help train people for a 3-year period to transition them into the public service. A good number of them got transitioned into the public service. But NACO did not solve the unemployment problem of this country. And if NACO had worked as efficiently as we thought it should have, and if NACO was the answer to the unemployment problem, the young people will not be angry that they didn't get jobs. So assuming without admitting that the NPP did not go and it didn't even yield any effort, does that justify that the NDC comes to power and seeks to literally repeat that same thing? The answer for me respectfully is no.
Okay.
Now, if you look at even the big push that they are claiming is supposed to be this thing that will transform jobs, I can tell you on authority that they are beginning to cook the data on the big push. It's in the budget.
Cook the data.
They are fabricating data. When did they launch the big push? On the 16th of September. If you go into the appendices in the budget, and we in the mighty minority spend a lot of time going through the details. If you go into the appendices in the budget, Appendix 2C, for example, we will find that they are cooking the books on the big push. if you look at, I don't know if your producers can find it and project it, but if you look at the data, they said they were going to spend 21 billion Ghana cedis on domestic financed infrastructure or capital expenditure, out of and then an extra 13 billion on the big push.
Okay.
Now that's 21. The argument essentially was that they were going to spend 7 billion on the old contractors, nothing on big push on the old contractors. That was the original budget.
Okay.
Then they were going to spend 13 on the big push, 13 billion on the big push.
Right.
Now, between quarter 1 and quarter 3, they have programmed that they will spend 9 billion on the big push. They claim they have spent 10 billion as at the end of September.
Okay.
They launched Big Push on the 16th of September. How could you have paid between 16th of September and the end of Q3 10 billion Ghana cedis? What they were doing was that they were paying old contractors, but fabricating that they were paying for Big Push.
Okay.
In fact, if you go into the upper levels of the data, under the domestic finance where they said they will not pay any of the old contractors, they are now saying that they will pay the old contractors 3 billion when old contractors were in their original contemplation of Big Push were not supposed to be part of it. What is even worse, as at quarter 3, they have paid out of the mineral royalties flows, they have paid about 5 billion cedis.
Right.
This is what they are reporting now that they have paid. They are claiming that by the end of the year, the 5 billion, and Titi, please listen to this, the 5 billion that they have paid, it will reduce to 4.1. How do you reduce money you have paid already?
Right.
They are cooking the books even on the Big Push. And the fundamental issue that this government is having is similar to an issue that we had in 2017, where you remove some of the taxes, believing that it will increase revenue, and then you can fulfill your promises. And the reality is that after you remove those taxes, the data will show you that the revenue has actually dropped. In fact, I came to you with a copy of ESES.
Yes, because you have made the point that the revenues that they said that about 6 of them that they had removed, the taxes, the emissions, the COVID, the 1.5 withholding gold exports, the e-levy, that's nothing to shoring up revenue and building a bulletproof economy.
But that's nothing. Again, if you go back to the numbers that they themselves presented, Appendix 2B, you will find that at the time we were leaving power, the non-tax revenue as a percentage of GDP was 16.2%.
Okay.
Today, after they removed the taxes that they advertised or remove, and remember they said they won't introduce new taxes.
Yes.
They've introduced 8 new taxes.
Where are they?
I'll go through it with you.
Okay.
But after introducing 8 new taxes and removing those
6
well, not all those 6 were even being collected. Emissions and the rest were not being collected. After removing those taxes, non-oil tax to GDP ratio. In fact, the non-tax revenue is now dropped to 11% of GDP. We've lost about 5% of GDP. Today's GDP is 1 trillion cedis. If you multiply that, that's about 50 billion Ghana cedis, which they've lost. That is why they don't have the money to spend. But they cover it with the propaganda that, it's fiscal discipline, it's fiscal discipline. Nemo that non-quad habit. You can't spend what you don't have.
When they start to spend, that's when you feel that they'll be hit with.
It's not that when they start to spend, that's when you will feel the shortfalls. You can't spend what you don't have.
Okay.
If you're forced to spend, what you may have to do is that you may have to borrow, which became part of our problem.
What did they say is their way of raising revenue to, take place of the ones that they have abolished?
So
aside from the extra levy.
You will recall that at the beginning of the year, when the finance minister advertised that he was going to reduce or remove those taxes, and that he was going to move tax to GDP ratio from 13% to 18%. I was the one who seconded it on the floor of Parliament that if he's able to do that, we'll support him. I'm showing you data right now that it is actually dropping. and that they are not able to mobilize the resources they need to be able to even fulfill their obligations. That's why all the promises that they've made, by the time you hear they say they've launched it, when you say they should bring the program documents to Parliament.
Yes, you have talked about not having the policy documents in Parliament to scrutinize it.
Because, you see, it is those policy documents that will then help us to follow the details, what are the KPIs, and then all of us can see. This is a copy of ESE's publication on the impact of our removal of the taxes. 2016, 19.4%. When we removed those taxes, thinking that we were going to get more revenue, we called it the nuisance taxes. It dropped to as low as about 15% of GDP. After the pandemic, we had to then try and introduce some new taxes to try and take it back up. That's how come we go back up to 16.2% of GDP. And now that they came in and they came with these measures, they've already dropped to about 11. It's not hatred or partisanship, but if we will stop the politicization and pay attention to the data, we'll find out that we're doing ourselves a lot of harm. So their fundamental problem is that they've played politics with the revenue measures. They are not able to mobilize the resources, and that's why they are not able to fund all the things that they've been talking about.
And I say again that it's a year of the government, and you don't anticipate that they will be able to shore up revenue to be able to roll out these policies like the job creation. They're already distributing the checks for the Nkukon Kitingiti.
They launched, first of all, Nkukon Kitingiti was budgeted in the 2025 budget. They didn't do anything about it. One day to the reading of the 2026 budget, then they launched Nkukon Kitingiti. How much productivity has gone into it? How much work has gone into it? How much has been spent on it? But what you need are credible revenue measures, which will then yield the resources you are looking for, so that you can spend. I keep telling you, this government does so much propaganda with the data. If you don't look into it, you will believe them. For example, you recall they told the people of Ghana that we didn't leave them any buffers. We left them 11 billion Ghana cedis. The Controller and Accountant General has published it in the all of government accounts for the year 2024. As at the end of the year, that balance was forward of 11 billion cedis. Where did they get it from? But you may believe them, and that is why, for example, if you look at their financing program for this year, they are having to borrow by about 13 billion less because they inherited 11 billion, so they don't need to borrow that money. But listen, in all honesty, if we will stop the partisanship and pay attention to the data, we will then be able to pay attention to some of the structural issues with the Ghanaian economy, which we have to fix. If we don't do that, okay, you are promising the young people 800,000 jobs. 500,000 of them already, as we are finding out, are going to be labor at construction sites for your big push project, which you say is about 3 years or so. So to the many young people out there, where are the quality lasting jobs that they are looking for? Another 250,000, you say you're going to employ them in the oil palm planting, etc. The young people of this country, okay, are looking for sustainable, well-paying jobs that they can rely on. If we keep playing this game with it over a period, the problem will get worse. The unemployment situation will get worse. And that is the basis on which we keep drawing their attention to these hard numbers. Stop the dancing, paying attention to these numbers.
And you've talked about the recommendations that the IMF has made about them, using the Bank of Ghana for revenue, stability and all of that.
At the beginning of the year, they were doing something we started doing at the end of 2024. In fact, let me take you back even further. When COVID hit us, and when you say, they say, don't say COVID, but it's a fact. What COVID did was that growth which we left at 5.7. By the way, we inherited growth at 3.5. We brought it up to about average 7% in the first 4 years. Then we were hit by COVID.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station. Hot Digital Online.
Once you are not exporting, you won't get foreign exchange.
Right.
Okay, so we had to then resort to spending the little foreign exchange that we had. And over a period when the foreign exchange ran out, the currency started depreciating because the economy was then yet to pick up. We then had to go to the IMF for a balance of payment support program to get a show up of forex. Around the same time, we introduced a gold purchase program aimed at using CDs to buy gold, convert that gold into forex, and earn more forex to stop the depreciation of the currency. Now you will recall, no, that was a gold purchase program.
Okay.
It was later that we then realized that we could actually use part of the gold to even buy oil. Then we don't have to come and take the forex. So then we added the gold for oil program as another layer. Now, the currency depreciated to about 17% somewhere in 2024. I mean, to about 17 to the dollar somewhere in 2024. But by the time we started the market intermediation, because we have been able to mobilize a bit more forex, we were able to bring it down to about 14.1 or so by the time we were leaving office on the 7th of January. Sometimes you hear them doing their propaganda on the floor that when you were leaving it was 17, it wasn't 17, they come to 14. Just be honest with the facts. Okay, but here's the point. That market intermediation is supposed to be a temporary measure while the market gets back on its feet. The government has now turned it into a permanent measure because they found a window where we can earn forex. And so the actual market measures that are supposed to sustain the currency, they've abandoned it, and all they are doing is that they are pumping. Now, initially when we said that they were pumping, they literally looked Ghanaians in the face and lied to us that it's not true. The governor told us that it's not true. The president told us that it was good leadership when the bishops went to ask him about it. The IMF then paid attention to the data and realized that you are doing intermediation. And the IMF told them that they needed to bring a framework. When they asked them to stop, you all saw the currency depreciating again. It means that the problem has not been fixed. Those are the structural issues I'm talking about.
How long do you anticipate they're going to try to do this to keep the cedi stabilized?
Today you are able to do it because gold prices, unlike 2021 when we introduced the gold purchase program, gold prices today are at about $4,000 an ounce. So today you are able to get windfall and intermediate. But if you get excited by the windfall and intermediation and you don't pay attention to dealing with the structural issues, let me show you something. Our import balance at the end of October was about $14 billion. The year before it was about $12 billion same time. That means our import bill is going up. So if we have a balance of trade surplus and we are doing well to get the balance of payment to align with balance of trade, then we should be getting close to about $14 billion coming.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, on Digital Online.
About $8 billion of our reserves on the market. That means that if government was not intervening, the situation now fix the problem. And this is what I've done as governments from
Baby, do him some favor. I feel that see fee man. Said I would do what you made him show him do stuff for me.
And now we continue to promote the website on Hot Digital Online UK. In the mornings, Biano, we get updates on the website by our technical producers. So they produce every bit and information on our website. If you go to the website, you get all the information. Hot Digital Online website, where all the issues and more will be there. We have gathered all the information. So the day-to-day activity all have been disseminated into the website. So go to the website and quickly download. You can have the radio on website and everything down there. Uncle Victor, once again, kudos to you, bro, and good work doing. In the meantime, we acknowledge our proud sponsors. No fee money transfer to Ghana, mobile money to all major networks in Ghana, cash pickup to 18 banks and all banks in Ghana. Airtime top up is Unity Link Financial Services Limited. This morning happened to be our proud sponsor. Let me pause for reflection. When we come back, more to come before we get back into business on the phone-in section this morning.
Chino be for free. Into me name Makumechi. Upon a chinko time and name. Not drunk or be udonti. Be without the Makanda can't tell me. He said, I'm my own social. No, to me in the new topic. Van cross your suro. In the figures of today, this is a Obi. Obi, I go to Guyana, Viana.
Me fita crowd me a hwa na mabaha me bebesia onyukuni na menyina tena nti menyo waka kan de kese na napa me pedo pack to pana ko fi me nya akoma nti tase na shase na chase me humosi ma monso ma shade ma twade twade se wakodo ekuku wanke fi Fernando po e original pity hard to go avu ko su flow wo sheri koko aye ni nyina she mama kaba obi big green maba na maba
for be real. Them fast them to me for be done. Let's have it in man we ain't till in a man I'm so me cry. Let's have it in man we ain't till in a man I'm so me cry.
Music is food for the soul.
Bringing the time is 36 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock this morning, and you're hearing the sound from the man Dada KD. He has also paid his dues in the music circles. And we're trying to remember some of the various artists we've loved the souls in the music circles. And moving on quickly. Now, your proud sponsors, Unity Link Financial Services Limited, happen to be our proud sponsor. And so Ebo Chidom. Now, we're going to the BBC website. There's a story here from the BBC website, which also give a clear dimension about the recent budget that was read by the Chancellor. And quickly, we move on to bring you the updates on the issues in regards to the investigation that leads to the leakage of the budget that was read by Rachel Reeves. Now, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is backing an inquiry into pre-budget leak from the Treasury, which knocked business and consumer confidence and moved market. The Chief Secretary to the Treasury told the Commons on Wednesday that inquiry into the pre-budget leaks was underway and led by top Treasury civil servant James Bowler, and had the full support of the Chancellor. Policies such as a freezing of income tax threshold, a pay per mile levy on electric vehicle, and a tourist tax were all reported to lead up to the budget on 26th of November. A downgrade of the UK productivity from the Office for the Budget Responsibility and plans to raise income tax rates, later abandoned, were also briefed to the media. Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle criticized the leak, branding it as the hockey-cocky budget, and also reminded the government that policy should be announced first to the Commons. James Murray, Chief Secretary to the Treasury, told the BBC and the Commons that the government put the utmost weight on budget scrutiny and including prevention of leak of information. When the budget was about to be read, there was some report that is going around in circles, say there was a leakage of the budget, which they should have a presentation and some kind of documentation should be presented or should be permissible at the expense of the Commons. But rather, there has been some leakages. Into those leakages, including the threshold of the one we talk about, the pre-budget leak led by the Treasury civil servant, and also the freezing of income tax threshold, the income tax threshold, and a pay per mile levy on electric vehicle. And that one has also brought an issue, say pay per electric vehicle, and also so is another issue on board. In some investigations will be done. Now, some people support the fact that this investigation need to be conducted, independent investigation need to be conducted before the presentation of the budget. There was something that happened when Rachel Reed also brought the budget. Now, more to come this morning. The issue on energy grade investment of 28 billion to push up household bills. In the Ofgem, the company responsible for the gas and the gas bills or the energy bills rise to help fund of 28 billion investment in the UK energy network. Now, the regulator of GEM has approved the funding in its 5-year plan on improving electricity and gas grid. The money will go towards maintaining gas network and also strengthening the electricity transformation network. This work is estimated to add 108 million pounds to the energy bills by 2031. But Ofgem said people would end up in saving about 80 pounds more than they otherwise would. As the investment will help lower the reliance of imported gas and make wholesale energy cheaper, leading to a net energy bill rise of 30 pounds. 28 million pounds is going to 28 billion pounds is going to be invested into the energy sector. And of James so that it will ease the pressure in the community and the society. And so pay more to come from the BBC website. And pay the Havens mortgage plans payment plan upedine ato a mortgage na we treat and kakanka krawo Ghana. Na just say the Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. Na $55,000 you pay $5,000 deposit, and then the bank negotiations, the bank will pay $50,000 cash to the company, and then every month you pay $553.00 to the bank. Now 3 bedrooms and so $100,000, that is about $10,000 deposit, and $90,000 will be paid through the bank, and then you will pay $1,152.4. Now, the banu 4-bedroom detacher, and you're $135,000. $35,000 will be paid as initial deposit, and then $100,000 as negotiations are being done properly. Now, I said properly, no. Now, bank will be $100,000, no. Now, also with your bank every month, be $1,280, $280.45. Now, requirements, a proof of identity, passport, Ghana card, employment contract, residency or work permit, residence, a recent passport picture, three most recent pay slips, and 1-year bank statement. Any the county real property for number no bombodia so to me afre plus 44791 737 6631 plus 44791 737 6631 and plus 233 244 7644 99. Tell no a Rehoboth property and as a Rehoboth social housing and pay and so wait the fatherly visa travel and tours about a passport one send airline ticket any visa ni na yenua Francis o Frisbee Park Echo Frisbee Park 57 Stratton Road, London, November 4 3 Echo Green on 0207 6193843 and 079 3965 6111. Tell me a fatherly visa travel and tours. AJN and Co Limited, a chartered accountant, business advisor, specialist in preparation, annual account bookkeeping, self-assessment, especially for Uber drivers. Inti Bombardier say AJN and Co Limited. A banner say P45 and P60. And also say refund be HMR now Sankaya. Bombardier contact AJN and Co Limited. And pay and so Ebo Chidom. From 01634 70495 01634 70495 and 07883 777 742. AJN and Co Limited, chartered accountant, business advisors. And I pay you so many cows say fast paced money transfer. Fast paced money transfer. See and cows say a banu titu say oh yeah. Sikamania ako mine Ghana. Na get a fast-paced money transfer. See and Kyle say new apps with me and so I download do Google Play Store and also Apple Play Store. FP transfer apps. But what they call now download come website and so I fast-paced transfer.com, fastpacetransfer.com. Competitive rates, not an issue at all. Make sure your loved ones will be happy when using fast-paced transfer beyond remittances. And pay and so chidom. In the meantime, Minka also say the Hot Digital Online, the annual fundraising contribution, we still want to create the public awareness. And it will be big a crowd person the Hot Digital. Then you can do that at your own peril. Help keep the airwaves alive. Account holder no your Hot Digital Online Limited. Fre and I also say account number is 763 643 763 3479 763 64379 763 64379 and a short code no and so 090128 090128 until for your little helps with me and so I contacted na with me and so edekakra bien so atum I don't pay you Minka also say Daughters Limited van high high van and I say move free baby awo eko baby foforo a bet me abe remove our somehow me housing moving store pickups man and van high and I say express delivery and the best van for rent van so the renting and the omochi kwan Croydon you from Daughters Limited from 074 60 59 5471 074 6059 5471 Daughters Limited at gmail.com daughtersLimited@gmail.com and pay and so chidom Lenfi Ghana Limited and so the Bosue eba weekend the Ochechi and Lenfi 4 the end of year party and community awards our Regency Banqueting Suite 113 Boost Group Tottenham London N17 6UR 7th of December from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. They are going to honor you some awards, especially prospective clients, those who deal with a year Lenfi, honoring our own and building our future. A free food and drinks into no a Lenfi for send with money transfers here and Kyle say edum pempenswa na akoye bibi basa, especially say nipani be and so download apps be apps no o download ya na odi sika mane fa so pe na achoko na kese nkobio enti send we say download apps no na obenya acheje sunko eye £10 credit obo promo code na £10 credit enti bombodia send wave na wetumi a download when your £10 credit wo ho E&J handyman about the carpentry works, door fixing and hanging fixing of kitchen wardrobes and wooden floors and no E&J handyman on 074 02117 074 and channel bedin command pay them monitor and share napos so called Hot Digital Online website now you will all the information tidbits and more which means it radio no so all the information and more our Hot Digital Online website you pay we bring you all the tidbits and more.
I'm from century, and I'm a church. Every Bamojia doesn't need to himself but triple. What yes, I see, I can't tell you. Have much to him to a change. Neon Fatiani video.
Daddy Lumba netin canopy Daddy Lumba free me in semno aye bebre enti na manfa balanga semno ye bebruja yako enim na meka say facial recognition technology could be used more often by the police forces according to new plans announced by the Home Office. Now, Policing and Crime Minister Sarah Jones said a widespread rollout of the equipment could mark the biggest breakthrough that in catching criminals since DNA matching. Police are being asked for their views on its use, and as part of the 10-week consultation launch on Thursday, possibly paving way for new laws. Jones credited the technology for helping to arrest thousands of criminals, but the campaign group Big Brother Watch said increased use will make George Orwell roll in his grave. Facial recognition is used to locate wanted, suspected, and find vulnerable people. Now, according to the Home Office, the Metropolitan Police has made 1,300 arrests using the technology since 2023, including rapists and violent offenders. It is believed that those tools could help to identify and arrest prisoners released by mistake. And one would only be used in time-limited focus by deployment. And the government has proposed to create a regulator overseeing the police use of biometrics and facial recognition. As part of the consultation, people are being asked for their views about how the technology should be regulated and how to protect people's privacy. Facial recognition is the biggest breakthrough for catching criminals since DNA matching. Jones said so. We will expand its use so that forces can put more criminals behind bars and tackle crime in their communities. The Home Office invested 12.6 million in facial recognition in 2024, which was about 2.8 million was spent on live recognition, and a new fleet on mobile vans was rolled out by several forces in November 2025, expanding a pilot program already led by the Met South Wales Police and Essex Police. Any new laws informed by the consultation will take about 2 years to be passed by Parliament, and that will be primarily affect policing England and Wales, but will also be relevant to certain powers in Scotland and Northern Ireland, and Home Office said so. The Home Office has brought something that is facial recognition. They're working in connection with the police officers. Now, the introduction of how best they will be able to use the facial recognition to clamp down criminals who have absconded, those who were unlawfully released from prison. By mistake, some prisoners were released from prison. Now, they use the facial recognition to catch the criminals. Until they've done it, they've arrested about 1,300 people. So facial recognition has come to stay. They are going to do that piloting, and it will keep increasing to make sure they can arrest a lot of people. Facial recognition by the Home Office. And then, like I said, they are using that one for people who also are offenders, those who commit crimes, abuses in the society. The vulnerability in the society will all be clamped down by social recognition. They are using a lot of technology to sanitize the system by making sure that they can directly arrest people who are on the wanted list, who are being vulnerable in the society by doing all sort of things. On Hot Digital Online UK. In the meantime, go on Hot Digital Online website. We have more information, tidbit and more, and news and what have you. Ni na woho anope too. Enche na ede na posu na bebre tifo anope ni edi nkomo anope.
Membo di minso. De membo se o mesoro me na me bonye wa. De na me na me bonye wa to was me metia. And me free now boy fine. Me adwuma me ye ne say because MPP were a very fantastic communicator. Be in the last 8 years. One correct will be asked that there be no about tie no she suit. See Daryl. Meanwhile, in the days of let my vote count, those were the guys who were communicating for the party. I didn't a party about them. We are entitled to it. We are all discussing. And we have my opinion. And yet, general idea. The American main single personality. We are from so. Communication is not by individual. Communication goes beyond individual. Communication is a structure and a system on its own. What you say? Esa unya structure to a say let the rock ni ho. Near the chima akra besuo. Ye di seb da sebre besuo. There's a blueprint to a part in your communication strategy for you see point I make can say historically no yenchechemu any ensema yeka efa communication as compared to your open propaganda and lies no they be an propaganda and the anymore saying your communication why then no share constitutional amendment near you ya inserted a provision in the constitution for the first time problems I may come from UGCC apparently in any issues I hear who in Prince Amri now the constitution is addressing those concerns. Say young quiet MPP now said the old cassette acquire catch for now yet tour. Now the piano you open and can summon to your show. And Sanya be yano. Now see your opponents in chantro and no may end no womb. Say ya can't make out UGC's appeal so by and semana CPP for no more can. Eba 1992 and some more can Iraq for pension, some more can say now a one. There should be a deliberate effort set. Science ma esi samre no. Na meboa 2020 deru ebetime say dinkunim. Edinkunim wi a wan hwe ya asma meka no. The history will repeat itself. Hona me so making. Enti at least the good thing is that
they can say 2012, 2016, we saw fantastic communication from NPP.
Yes.
Fantastic communication team.
Yes.
NPP bar Benwin. In fact, presidency oti a DBA among the year is in charge of managing the parties and the government communication. The best names you can hear or you can know of everywhere in the year. So why was the party still failing in communicating?
Opposition now communicate here is easier than so wabem. Opposition communication anyway. Both NDC and NPP and now buy net so and now own or cast some more attacking. But see wabem now to our policies in some other kind of propaganda and for cartos no. How you deal with it no determine whether you be in power or not. That's what I'm saying. Say it goes beyond personality. Said they rule could be a way better. The party in this amended constitution, Eddie normal schema, we are addressing our communication issues. Most then can't bema affect here.
Oh yes, sure. Say amendment we beat me addressing.
Me catch you. No maybe we have been to videos in BNB Muncho, but I can tell you say in this constitution, a normal yashishi woman everywhere. That is communication. Oh yeah, and if you are. There were there back was a kutia party no. The Brunei friend apathy. Abembu. If you ask him, say, if I say me general secretary, BM. Na, let's see, me cruas, and I say more crew. I'll be him say, the cat NPP, it be a kudia. Na say, be a wabe former MP da. Obi a former constituency officer da or regional officer. Eti baby dero ka ensema sebi ebu abem efa party no a de wa otechi de na be
and you so abem bebu
all because of say yon for if 92 ya chekse party na bi be constituency officers ebi be regional officers ebi be MPs. If you quite be a parliamentary candidates in my party no. Na party na kushia ye program ye kotoaba no be a said be 2 terms 3 terms member of parliament for a constituency na ye program is a your friend one count there was a way send the panokra wabembobu
yes
and also so party net sans ne won so no. Ya amend the constitution, yes, I expanded the electoral college. Say, Beya, Obia former officer of the party from constituency, Elquaba region, national, at least, I'm yes, you cried it. Say, Cotua Bay, you need pa, or Bear Marseille, Amasa constituency. No, say, Cotua Bay, a Twaba mobile, Babidi party anymore. At least, young cow movie. There I can tell you, said the moment a party no a better bontin said former executive to Abenibi. What if you so transfer can was hey, and then they may pan MPP for Akami. Yes. It's aside the new energy grabber to the extent say when say buy ya sir a grantee sir a wish we and go back to association, former executives association. I see. So in one way no a party I said the man called for Bemubu or Motidano. At least we are solving it.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, on Digital Online.
An experienced president. Obia Waba, he served under a president for 3.5 years as vice. And Obe served 6 months as president. And Okoye, Osanko election. Eko Winnie, Ebe served 4 years. And no co-opposition 8 years. And our son Babem. This is a huge endorsement by the Ghanaian people. Because on my trail, you guys tried to paint him, to rebrand him in a manner. Ghanaians scratching no more. But he took his time, rebranded himself. And made sure say your lies caught up with you. And then Bissau said, what was the sins of President Mahama before the 2016 election? In Niama, Motiswano, say wako to hotel what in Japan was Dubai, and wako to ship, all kinds of things you said. You couldn't prove 8 years, not a dime. Some cook and bull story about Airbus at the Betareno. He was whitewashed clean by the OSP. And then this is the man we are describing here. Ghanaians have endorsed him. And they feel said looking forward and going forward. Among all these number 5 people you people are putting out there, he still stands tall. And they want to give him another opportunity. I have spoken to people, several hundreds of people. Some have called me since I made that statement on this platform. I'm afraid, a lot of youth organizations. You can't bow. I'm telling you the truth. I tell you no lie. They say, Opa, you go feel bored and best. That time will come. Somebody Makato said we'll test the law.
Yeah, you've said
I said it.
You still stand by, sir, we will test the law.
They say we will test the law. It's a constitution, but no what Koti the constitution doesn't permit. Yes. We will see when the time comes. Your corner constitution they say yes. But until then, we will work hard towards this agenda to ensure, say, what the people want, we present it to them. Because we were in this country. We left this country in your hands. It took us 30 years backward. 30 years backward. Destroyed everything that looks like hope in this country. Daniel Kufuor's regime. And now your finance minister has run away, a fugitive of the law. Your friend of crowd, you are not continuing back. Look at the number of cases we have around. And cumulatively, no school for so keke, or school, correct, a Juma, national service, look at the kind of money we are discussing. Secret to me, see schools, to me, see hospitals. To me, individuals stole this money under your nostrils.
Allegedly, they are standing trial.
I hear you, Marty. Yes. Allegedly. The Ghanaian people, they can see hope. Mahama is the hope. He's the hope. He's the hope for Mother Ghana. It's not a fluke. Do you understand? That's why I gave you the antecedents. Our experience. Experiment. You are not coming to experiment. Because all the people who have shown up for that experiment, We've seen their handiwork. Dr. Baumia, we saw him. We saw everything he did.
Now, so we didn't end this in some one call for.
I know you was yeah, can yeah, that one is not your business.
Okay.
You can't see any Crawford. Okay. But until Muhammad, they still Lord when I say Muhammad to me, who will fall on the
others.
Yes.
But obey me,
I did never call. No two ways about that. Yeah, corner, I say, he is the hope of the motherland.
All right, so that was a Dua Sare, the NDC communicator yesterday on Asempa FM. Saying, sir, I'm the Joma Mabeko the Tete. And I'm a Cortes law.
He says he's coming very.
And he,
my Lord is coming.
Now, Matisse Johnson is said, Katia, say, on so ever contest Papa Panania Break. As a mempenny, Mr. Midi President Dibia, and Johnson is said, Katia, aka Mosquito. Say, this time no one was a lie low, the near Bre Papa. I say, Tatem Bang, when they are mooning near Kosovo. And you do as I do not champion the third term for John Mahama. The third term. So, Mra. And I will be saying, I'm new be or say you will be on a wasem. And he and this is the no. And Chena ever call in Sweden command of pay. Joyce Kwache Ocean live on social media and a Mami Araba. Mami Araba Michecha on a pay.
Very soon.
If you are calling him now at 12 million son of pay,
Would you be ready?
Would you be ready when the time is near and close?
Be ready.
Kate and Ponsa also sharing live on the TikTok.
Be ready.
Beirut watching me live. Krobia executive Nana Akwesi. The church Yamuna no pay. Yamin Shramuna.
Rumors of wars.
All right, you have a line in command of pay now. Yabonite na yakwe any man of pay. All right, hello. Hello.
Valentine, good morning.
Morning, Marcus. You.
Yo, I don't have me check here for the other thing. Our friends, make also far quite a senior man, CK. What Patrick Metonga, I'm so called Tonga. Valentine.
Yeah.
Me want to do a compromise Abaswa no pay. They say that the potential are amazing. Then you can say that you are going to buy that be Okasa reviews. No, I'm a your friend said Kusibuafo.
Okay.
That's why a very good communicator. Now, Valentine, me issue a special prosecutor. Special prosecutor, no. Well, there's no question say a man coffee because Najumaya is friend. I know they have said that and I agree. Whether I was right or left, and I see an MPP. Now, and no more, you know, there's a Dawson, Valentine, and bro, how I just yes. You know, whether for the attack is, you know, or you're wrong or you're wrong, and it's all. Now, when I expect our leaders to take some decision, we know president, no issue executive power, no elected people. So I'm a panel because you have to be an organization for almost about 3-4 years, you know, until we are the pastor of our Chuamuka. Yes, I get. Yes, you see, I didn't feel on I am attorney general and continue the job. I know you have the first point. The second point, Valentine. I had to be a barrier industry, I preach about peace, but people don't seem to understand. I had people be our opinion, which is fine. But the point is, Valentine. When you say, I have to be able to say, I was talking to her in the background one day, or can't say, but see, but I see, I don't even know that. And we shared one day, and I say, one how you buy the Bible radio super bathroom. Tell me that it do it from body chemi. Your Bible radio so are the tone on the voice of the Cassia couldn't talk against each other. Valentine doing I tell me quite very big important, but my son and a person percent my friend radio. Being acting free. The two Ghana young country have my friend radio so the UK and a party there, but it's Ghana be different. You know, I perceive a crony, a cab, a cry, a kimono. Everything in your basket, Me kasa who NDC are now people are very full, but the tone of voice here they kasa no. I have Valentine number on day no. I know this is your person go back because they move on. Yeah, they are not so bad power in your manager. They are balanced now. I bet you not some problem. I move forward. But in the public, so preference they go over the court. Say to the point you are crying bad. Valentine radio I international so big to Finland. Now, so to me, team already, a platform as a business because it means every other place. Yes, in Casa will be out to UK go on after radio. As I'm not back now, I'm going to be me as Aka, but I
don't hello.
Hello.
By my thank you.
So they be a pedal FM second. Maybe a fatum pa a pedal FM second. You meet your beer. Especially my godly husband. Now you know. Anyway, and I read that and tomato mabano. My burn a day. Now this year, me because I need the last hour. My kind the whole digital is God. Manka. Until my kind, yes, I can.
Sure, good. Not was so. Was all the time. No, they be a
mechanical day. I'm okay.
Was so I a problem kakra because we do baby.
Martin, you, I said yesterday at the last hour that hot digital is God.
Sure, you said it.
Yes, I have come today for money, for my God. Hot digital. Now let me put my thinking cap on. Lord, help me to put it on. Yes, I have put it on today. Thank you, God. The reason why my kind of hot digital is God. As I ebenya happiness from the day or your winyame. Not for me. That's my philosophy. My thinking cap in I thank God that has helped me to put it on carefully. And I permitted then a bill use me commercial English be me can. The cognitive test is very, very important. Cognitively. So I say, yeah, no, I had to china into a yummy biara. Moko court, Mamizidum. Reason American doy and Henyamino. I Henyaminas had dana. I bay a big biara fuakumum. My meeting the first day. Oh, Mexican and Chevandak, happy belated birthday. I miss you. Among Quantinton, Mezino Jamamino. On Famon. Long Fabian come more because entertaining him. Mitia wanting so. Minyan could be not a chill more can want. Mr. No wonder the woman is like his son. Auntie, always meet you, Vandak, Nanti, meet you, Papa. Yeah, a bit back and there, Mata, Sabimu was Sikama. Intin work and the whole digital anamidemica. In the market here, when tia by 20 pounds a demo work and a bit good tea bialinsa. My first time I'm call a bank them could for digital, maybe 500.
All right.
Now that bank can share my account to me. Why is it called over Gumukrump and why they pay you? Minina Guya, even say 300 for 1. No, 100. Into 100. Why better Markum? Now, how much more? And then you know, right? You say what the guitar. Not damn it. They're cognitively. I don't know. I can't say with that. Yes, you understand me. Let me put something to help. You have to. I don't have to come to your home and knock your door to pay money. No.
All right.
My wife and I can't show they pay something to support. To support. Last month, some GN radio, me fatizing Nigerian in my friend, Maka GN radio. I said, my benefit, are you going for fundraising?
All right, Mama, I
am a Dawama, intimate Papa Chow. When your mamma be alarmed, but one fear can knock before you pay something.
All right, Dati, that's Papa. What's up, you into you?
Well, good morning.
Morning, quiet into you on a pay.
Yo, and I'm just saying, Oboy, Emma, you're sicky. Are you?
What's why they?
That's what because I'm sicky. Yeah, man, you give me bizarre.
How's the sister be from Ghana?
Oh, offer, I'm sure you are. New so yeah. Yo, no matter. My matter, you open once a more. Hey.
Voluntary. It shouldn't be by force to go voluntary. And it's more.
Okay. Marcos Bichon, Nana Missa, Nana Lutin, Missa Ban, Quampecam, Anaquami, Obaya, Nasa, I can say, Anapiao, Sanso, Edna, if only it's your friend, Mr. Tuform. I'm here, if you're a poor mammy, Alice of Bedouin, Nana. Me and then Mammy Dickness at the Mama Kenyan for telling you a chop. Mam say, well, be chop whopper. Be so called there, Mammy, chop whopper, and then Mama Kenyan. Hey, NDC. Jansan Numnikru would die, that told die, we will come with the Paliban. On the Judge Kanye was saying, MP people, they don't have time to open their mouth. And these people, they talk, right? Somewhere in Yakasanwa. Won't be Mugana, a woman in Swagara for that. Moka said too much. Now, only Pebia or Obioka Sabiano, only time or the Yadi Pebia, Casanquan. And this is the Bible saying, Abra runs the car saying, why am I mean I am good man? And I can afford your dinner and this would trust we do that. And can add the other part and come to the Mosesimu. So when you are to all these years, Yayamagana. Come to me. Now, would because say, I'm going to go Bonnie, I want a good father. A good father, Muson, a yes, a crown, a body, a daughter. Or the free education. I dear crown, a young swabacrano. She said, oh, no, any a swabadi and any woman to trash you. A good father. Good father, pa. What the Amamua, I be see that about Ghana. And to be some say, Edison can MPP the one party be drunk one party state here. And you can end this form. And the other part in Ghana, I could do. And I said, MPP for no, I could do. Until I'm about to be MPF. No. Most some quite. Namun trust a munsia and Mungu papa. Namunya Casa cho. Moi, dear Mudina Jagrano, also Momo did. Oh, and Muntras and Amunsia Mamuna, and if I want you, my dear, Mubu could do. Mubu could tap papa, Mubisi Swam, we didn't pay on Cassan one. Check, a bois, wash a bois soprano, Ubuaquinta, a bois. Munyakas attention, Mubabu Tubusa and Ghana, and this year, you have your money, are they Yedimo? Who was here that you be chat to and then you go about to suffer your Mama dear. And this is for Bobby Super Papa. Hey, and you wow, already and go be a while.
Hello.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, come into you.
Conform that Aqua David, of course, is here a bonabasso. My friends are both communicators in Abaso. We appreciate each and every one. The human's job are more about by a bow Abaso. In fact, the way I see managing communication now, we appreciate Juma. The bow Abaso said, now, comfort. anya bia ye de sekan esi obi minimum sɛ ontua bibi mu a hotel fan dwumadia na
ade
na sɛ obi bɛka sɛ ɛnyɛ fɔ yɛntua bibi na mebisa sɛ yɛde sekan esi obi minimum sɛ kyenkyen akye ɛwɔ sɛ otua bibi boa na sɛnea obi ayɛ bia no ɛyɛ voluntary anaa ne boa
okay
enti yɛsɛ na mo nea yɛ ana abofo no ɛyɛ quite negotiating ɛne sɛ yɛsɛ boa na sɛ wontumi mmoa then you don't have any right to come and instruct, to come and gag people. Quite a number of people are almost from a brim, a bibi bois. I also have for no more transna, more emergency munchia, more dibia. Yet you have the mouth to come and gag people to a extent of referring to some people say they are suffering from mental disorder. Are they? Most abuya brain soon. Na young friend on Chona, young Korean. I would say about 3 days ago, na me catch us say Mama is on the rampage to destroy all our institutions. Na Nina no, he's preparing the way for his third. Coming. I said this is the second time a duasare. I say a bit now after say Can Williams. I saw for no be on with the diamena. Then so mo bit me I fasten. Or Dana said a chin fan and issue and or bet to be atum na be issue. Say yen discuss it. Obeka and consistently. And Mama hasn't denied ever since I saw a wisha say a koso. Oh, send you no see cano. Oh, you be who quiet be fast you be bend the constitution no. Ya maneuver yen you way. Now on try. Now once any ya senior Edmond Beck and say, oh, evil triumph.
Yeah.
The friend is saying the good people and as a good men in the society remain silent. The passive nature of Ghanaians and then they are mamishu.
Okay.
And come in say yeah the constitution they can't say any problem. But the way I Ghana for me young ma in the face of injustice. Na ya itse ya yenhwe ha sa na ye de na musa eno na wanya a friend is saying what take advantage na all test waters no kakra how people will react if you want no the kakra betum madika bi samo say in all of this cosmo what is will be opportunity free NDC mu say men so I'm offering myself say after mama no
is it don't get ya also on
too low and kasa you should hear them with the loud voices.
Well, listen to Busa, Biasa, and Cosu John the Ompany. Sana, Boba.
And what was saying, not a friend saying, Kodia Eken. Kodia was only re echoing and Yamabi Ayedikayaka. Say, oh, destroy institutions in
okay.
And now court, Unya Sama, and yet about justice being. It's about a judge in heaven a betty. Say what kind of ruling na medema your mama ni trimbe any day or bebon in some. Enjoy your share will be intimate can wasem. And for people, we don't come here to peddle a falsehood. And some are yaking a yama your mama and the mental castle in water bill.
Yeah.
We're increasing by 15.92%. A becky of January. Electricity 9.8%. Meanwhile, you was one Sibia, you kill Obian Kashi, and a Jomama said, oh, enjoy goodwill. And all Cosa. Now, me do chat about education, yeah, Valentine, yeah, can was me. Anytime NDC is in government, you know a abysmal resource. Now, say nearby here, or more Eka, and I had the friend said Pasco, and the Adema, and on 2014, I'm referring you back, me and Co. They say about your pedo lies. You can't hear Mamu under Jim Nana and they or your vice president, not or education minister. In your 72% and almost 2014, barely 10 years ago. And then must have about them. Now, say over 200,000 or more fairly. They don't have any right to write a Noveco because Noveco, you're registered. Now, much more side council. Mama is a whole. Now, me be chat for crying speaker, deputy speaker of parliament, Valentine. Your best friend say, so Otna Kunyanimua, nkurasesɛm sɛ
Dabi,
sɛ ɔwe na no te sɛ
Dabi. Hello.
Hello, man.
Yeah, Bajwani.
Kofi Francis.
Thank you.
Man.
Yeah.
Always say, oh, lunatics, we on radio swat. They just chat. Look.
Francis. What the young queen?
Champion the
Dabi. For the young queen.
Wait. Now let me talk.
No. Kwame, Francis T.
Hot FM, eh?
Francis.
A lot of people were not.
Francis, take your time and let's speak. Why are you people doing these things today? Let's have a conversation. Yeah.
That will be indirect.
And to the young queen.
Look, Marcus, you can't do.
Oh, Francis, it's not about quarrel. What's your problem? Oh, I'm in Jadiamuye. Now, officer, hello, one was we.
Valentine.
Yeah, I was for you.
Obosumfoni, Medasi Valentine. Mami, Enchia na Minchia with you for. Na Mr. Oboade ne ya Abosum.
Francis.
One.
Yending common Jadia, Yending common.
One unim. Obusumfo Kasai. I remember say on the Coca say man Airways or Ghana or representing MPP. He said it on authority. You can play back its recording. And none of I can also about that. Una can say representing MPP or Airways or Ghana. He said it. We all heard it.
I hear you. Let's move on.
Let me talk. I was a sister called Ghana 3 days today. Ghana, we are in a crisis. We need a pan 1 year ton 8 cities, no. And now Okotobi 12 cities. Can you believe that? 8 cities bread is now 12 cities in Ghana. Look, where are we heading? Look, we should be mindful. And Edwasari, he has the nerves to talk. Say, no Ghana, your democracy, no, we don't know how the law works. We are beginning our soon here. Boy Apple. This guy, when you liberate, or be say, Kasama government. Look at that. You know, Ghana, no, if you know, uncle, as a more political arbitrary, because they are not fit to be in public space. But Ghana, no, we endorse corrupt people. That is why Edu Asari, because if it has no net, Ghana wouldn't say our constitution. You go 2 terms. Look, people can charge, you can't say this and get away with it. Say, Mama, you try it. Look, our constitution says it clearly, say 2 terms. We really the point got 3 terms. So nobody in Ghana can bend the constitution. Yeah. That's what I have to say. Thank
All
you.
right, Francis Sudiano. For you quickly.
You Valentine me that's my means and chair na mincha with you for so na minsre oboade ne ya boso mekukudam on nshira ne ahobambo ma dramani mahama e mampini. Valentine say my memboa minua no so kasa. Him say you have to be a good listener in order to be a good communicator. Because say me ko Ghana eco represent MPP. Okay, on Ghana Muntie show, Mark Jerry Osayajuma and the host me. Mikoto kwabna mafu ya money no what nature hunsem. Odame, the producer, Mikoko presente, okay, as external branch executive, communications officer, MPP Finland. That one I said it, and it was arranged by Richard Ahiagba, the communications directorate. Enye se mekoko shia kwekubimpe ene wo fake e wo Ghana e mo de me ko radio stations so se ne obaya e ka no mi mfa meni enhia kwekubimpe da mi mfa nhia wo fake da emra mi wo show no so no as external branch executive here platform aye wo no you share the link for other communicators external branch communicators to follow. Kwekubimpe was following the show and was sending in comments. And that was why I referred to you. Says, "Mose menye MPP communications officer, Mumbisa Kwekubimpe, including Ofake, external branch executives. We have meetings. That's in my crimes also. Okay. This is what I said. But Minka said, Mako Ghana Kwaku Shia Kwekubimpe ni Ofake, ama mo de mi akọ radio station so sɛ ne oba ya aka no
okay all right
enti ofa Francis ti na meka nse kwa me be kan ye ono kra de ne ya ben no kra no ti asɛm ba ko a meka ye Lee can version oba ya can version kwa me ben ka can version ba no kra ba ko pe na maka kire mo no ye ko ni ba fa so send out take me remorse and your responsibility to persuade me to apologize for granted. O take it for granted. Because when she came back, she came to muddy the waters. But you ko enim. You best remo. Money amo kana mo bo ne so wojiji no so no. Are na mo ba mo mes bom nsre mu cancel me for bi ho. E na de bia mo de onu nim na mo de eye oba na mo be bo na ba so say o di ntwa to so. Emwa. But Valentine. I think say omampeni ya de bia say e bo na ba so. Eye mahama. You see how more than share about Mebua, Omomedi them, the disabled. Namiti, the Minister for Education, Haruna, and all kinds of provided some aiding aid tools near Macadia, a Bebua Union Momedi them in society or mining. It's me a bomb with this one because when say a idea we've pushed these people aside for so long, we've neglected them for so long. In a sense, say government hasn't made provisions for their development, their progress in the society. Okay. It's a laudable idea that the Minister for Education, Haruna Idris, is bringing on board. And I believe, say, across all the ministers, Obia identified the challenges and how we have eliminated the disabled in our society, and let's bring them on board. And combine so your Obata and us, our folk, and say, Ekobasi bibinti mobedi demo, you think say abofrano ba yuasia, he or she will be left out. But say omaino ete ki serious say ye wo nhihye e wo homa wo. Nti say nipa nkra bibinti na say Indian bwana still no, he or she can still be part of the society and progress in life. Nti babo mahama ba so yirani biara no. So odwin wo mo medi dem ho na oye nhihye abo on that.
Hello, good morning, Val.
Yeah, Nana Kwame Entio.
Nana Kwame. I don't pay me channel and house of my
be away pa.
The chair Mr. Tobias is that's him Nana Mammy Dicknet. The Kelbia, my man is Minia Kwame Peckham, also for Kadezi, Uncle Joe, Open Pong, and a Fred, and Utopia. First of all, may I advise you that 200,000 students in almost failing it, almost see why. Omunko si waik. Yes. Omunsi omu. Because unim. Ghana your leaders no. Oma take it for right for so long. But and your marketing kitty and then mean politics be pray. And your marketing kitty or Ghana. Ama Ghanaians, we are meant to be slaves. More when foreigners go to Ghana, they enjoy the country more than we do. They say we are Ghana and who started business and you have to start paying tax. Or work or 5 years tax holiday. Are you promoting your citizens and after you promoting foreigners? Yakana be seen there. And then Yakohabo custom officers, trained custom officers war. How much I can be a year near my piano? Who could do Quema? No, my town. Many Ghana, I deal with him funny this. Almost town on my catcher, and Yamana would be yes, who could rio, and yes, who sneaky, and I will far criminals, you know, call, how about no kui come to an EPU. Almost say Yamana go for no master charge. Now, the American question says Ghana for more better than why I shall find one day will be the motor. President Mahama, no pay. May send this question to you. The peace that we have enjoyed since President Rawlings accepted to let democracy run the country, Ghanaians, upon all the bully citizenry, apart from Kufa who brought free education and mind who say we are Ghanaians, and most gradually you are taking it away. Yeah, we like that peace. We prefer the peace that we have had for all these years. It's Mama only chronics. Any more soft being now, almost slow namino. The more person will find this so. Now, say you will be destroyed before even that day. I'm going to plan there because that thing will definitely destroy destroy the peace that we have in the country.
Okay.
So, Mama, so what you start from today? Stop thinking about that. Don't even dream. Tomorrow might be too late for you to think about it. So today, think about it. You will shut your people say. Don't go on air and ever say, I'm coming on my third term. Don't try, Mama. Don't try.
Don't try.
It's only about 20% of Ghanaians and on your politicians. The rest, they are the lover of the nation. But because of democracy, the respect that we have for democracy, they don't be any active in politics. So, Mama, don't try.
Don't try.
Get connected.
Get connected. Hello. Hello. Oba, ain't you?
Good morning, Va.
Morning. Ain't you, Oba?
Yo, it's a young man and I come your courses here. Kwame Pekam, Monica, sir. Nana Lutin, Fred, Obia, Sansan Chroma, Mechia, Jen Danimo, Makenya. Lee, or in Cassian and Nanya, Kodakwa David, Nimua Makenya. I'm man of a 40 sister, but that man and me. Mam say, where my bar is, you know, Antamata Mechia. Makadebia se jaya hoyam ma obia amfa ahoma me so wo mene se betu yesika se wona wo ka radio omuti ye keka ko 25 years wo we ye panyin 83 years wadawroma nka obelidi ye na wo wadi anim agyeche wanya sabi sa adwene na amfa anye na wo baketua menya adwene de ya we so ho ahoya eni kwaso bia de kaso obi ntua we ho ahoya na se radio na kro bo mu radio ho dawru enkrofo ba so be ye wo advert enti saka wo ye fundraising na me nyansam ba tu me ho asi ho efre enkrofo kra na efre me nya me mom na me fro mo mu kra na efre me na me ya boa radio no so sa ya wo ya adie ma ede na wo ji efre me ho and this for time bebrebe and yeah na obosom for so say me say the nwa me nua be ma me be kan for wabosom be bodua wonu masam afu say wan kakura ni akura ni na no wo say wan kakura ba enne wa beji atum say waka wo say some wonya MPP nia a whole chairman of UK and Ireland. And Kwaku been communication the letter. One arrange ama won connecting ko represent MPP. Me na me man wan kasa wo so akosia wo mu. Na bom dia me kai ni se wo mu wo ko ni bu frete tia. And ka wo bewudu se. Wo mu bewudu se we ye pateku na adu odwan wo ma akekere wo ho. Sa na me kai no, me nka so akosia wo mu. Me nka na nya radio so no obi akasa we still Finland no afa o de te kasa. Obi abesia. Sa begina ho de ta be kasa. Me man kasa o ma besia. Wonu masa misi bodua na me mpai wo kire ne radio beguo. So abosom ne ya adwuma mpa be bodua. Sa wo so wanka kora. So atiefo nyina akasa waka. Wo so wanka. Afa wa be dia tum so waka. Na me se wo wakosia wo mo. Me sa na me ka no. Ma Valentine bo de me ka na ansa ne nkyerɛ. Wanim na agu ase. Wo be che de me ye no radio so. Wo na be che Valentine adwuma awanye. Wonim radio me na de do ayede ni wo so. Wa nipa ne wo ma tua wo musika ma me ntonko so. Emma me wo fasike seden. Na nipa ne wo me nsa aka wo mu de ye. That's my £50. And then I see Antimata with me. Vice Chairman, our was out. Blabo, I say, do one friend and a B. On also at £50. And me talk us to see me crying. So what did it say? Said the man, Matabaka, and entertaining me, and Kokra, and Lantia, who were Juba Kras and Mammy Dickness, and that's him, that's new. No, I said, and no, or cassette college. So I was so funny, so I 9 minutes in our catching and I will burn you. A teach for near 1904. Just a woman here, red, we cry woman to me. Me, my friend, bus driver, and doctors. Not just the dear people in it to sell or buy actually. na womwa na to aba ma me o se me ni wo mani mo nyam na me kopre yo womwa na to apa e ma me se mini nipa minye dua ense dua nsa ho ma mini wo mani e so ya mo ya nyankopon di sa de ne che me ko enti e de wo bewu na de me kan say yes let sa adofo ene anintimfo mro redue na do asale enya na aye bibie mahama is a ho onya hope say wo bia wo metena so krampo no enkrofo so mu kopedi o mu betie emranti akantin kase edun katia so mu ye nkwasiafo no do mkodi tumi wo mu wi emaya akwa asole wo makonya accident egu enkrofo titrifo ministers pray crash o ma sia dane nso enkwala kopa adwuma 133 ya 133 emaya nsia akowu Mr. Muhammad in the picture got to be board so America $17,000. Niji anamonta for to akotna Burkina Faso wakoje amanfra for free America ababa be Ghana. When you say every month according to Muhammad deputy what they say secretary Mustafa Bandi was it 20,000 Ghana cedis 200 million ya the Brahma party officers.
Okay.
Mr. Mahama at box what they say gold sankofa any black voter ateninia et Mahama nyo say na ya de me this minister mo nan nyene say and anyway you near do tran wo awa ye ho Mr. Atamesa wanya ne ba piko my doctor says I'm strong enough to rule the nation for the next 4 years, so I will hand over 2017 2012 no kran to no. Eti Mahama woni mu na nyame de ama no ono amu wona ma wakunkoza kokokoko bi nim de ha no
aba
mo ne ko ya le ne sna ansa no ma preja
hello nana ni lutin
thank you
yedi ka mi tia busuafo nyina minu aba na wakoma to yem na yenya woso a yenya woso mienu oyuka ka ye ho atoyen oba wo dwene emofra ho dwene se radio yi be koso nti ode ho asi wo enti obi be hye yanye ntie di obi be ka yalefo oba be ka kire obi so yale aya na eya nenso awrade adom wadwedwe yakoma na waye lucky se wa maye kwan wa ka kire se yentwa so na nka obetenwe nka em say radio no obejai nti no next time no won hwe na no kasa yi John Mahama me ya na duru ba bia ya na me enken ha me say John Mahama eso obesa ba third time na Ghana for so omo short memory na nko mbeto amana nkan nye masem but ye wo nipa bi omo ya Ghana for a omo bebere eno nti na ma ye mu bi ye ba ye beka se hu hia if is obi ba be start free education ede ye koma Ghana koko duru ba bia eviase nyina boy abato se Ghana mo ye bi se covid ba ye na manwu na matenase na ye nya obi amana siesie o man na mi atenase na se ne obi ba no oba be dide se obi aba be ye caterpillar aba be gi kwan akese no the tie ba be fa so a wo se wo no na ye kwan no enye nwanwa na MPP for yemfa ni wo mo efri se nka MPP ka wo mo ho abomu a enka Ghana for te se mo MPP for ka mo ka mo ho abomu a ka manfrafo ntimi meje wo man ne mo so e ma me kan se ma kesi ntia yen se ye te honom na odifo a hyenkom se mo de papa yi ba wo man ne ntimi ntinem entina de minua bo ba ye ka hwe no ma akoso wo Ghana aso ye ho nto yen so no ma ekoso enye no bi call sorry I was CDs atiaba from CDs we atiaba from there na ga fifi betimi aye ne 100 times but almost gine o man no ho wo mo first kan konko gum na CD ne ntima from na no ma enkosoro da bia e si e no ma e ba from enso obi antimi nso e no ma wo Ghana ye pese e ka kire Ghana fo ne se mo nhwe ye na John Mahama deɛ oyɛ odi awuo nyame nhyira wo.
Francis Yenti on Yanko Dachi.
Thank you very much, Pacho. Yes, once again, Francis New Cross Gate. I had sometimes with Tia, even playback in the crowd. Tia, me who say so Diana, Sama. And then one say Buapayo, say Daniel, because Sebe, Oman Kedia Tempa, no Momuno, a babe, 2 for the minute, Obi Cassette, Tia or more. Now, Fidia, you get the cowardly, ye said, oh, Yambani way, because I can't wait. Pacho, dear, your friend of me name, Francis, Mama Nassi or the Kufia Canidi. Me coming calling you Francis name free ni day. No, it me bedidi antemata attempt. Obi Baka can see Yambani in free radio. So, how dare him? How dare him? And ayana winning tea. Now I don't blame them because what should they are coswa? Obia wan kasama MPP biara. Unyako wano pape. Oh, near yayo say I need a piano out. To munya and anka no pano munya oma line up abididi or moncomo. She now words, sir. Choice of words, sir. Miami nia bema. Pame pekam UC. Is it palatable for the radio? No. But in penny four no so-called in penny for no moon a chroma de dame castle penny papa dane. A dane is hypocrisy. But my me on your Francis Manon Foman Kabibi. Ah, Kaubehu line up. Oh, and I say no coca way, and no coca tibidity. Hypocrisy at its best. Hypocrisy at its best. This person, Nipa wapamo free radio is when you and now I give you the right answer. When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And then a nipa ba koda onya exchanges say. Also we are thing and talk different people. And I said the problem is that person. Not also the way he talks and the way he communicates. Damn it, time will maybe I said no, someone nano crano, Muntimin Kanam de Namon chain. Is he not the person to blame for all this? Can you pa mema ba radio swa or kasa chromo tan. And who can't put motivating ya, me started be ba we musono. I can't stand that. It's wrong. It's not fair.
You've spoken. You've made your point. So let's move on.
It's not cool. I don't like that.
We know.
I'm really passionate about.
But sometimes you use interpret language, but we accept. Sometimes when you say something, you need to minimize it. You don't have to go extreme. You just have to minimize it. And you quickly. Time. Quickly. Then
I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, all right. That's my NTO.
Now, I promise to say.
I'm your NTO on
Yo, the chair the California. Dr. Obaya, my chairman, my dickness, my chair. No Mary, necessary. May. Nothing. Yaman come home. And no more than my DBA. My breakdown, Kakara. 209. And I'm a say, Obaya and Cow radio to focus radio. Milk will cry and a tenant can. And what, Lady Walker Sapa until Miss Patis and me, Tina. Me, Tina, number new beer. May your politics from 1996. From Ghana to United Kingdom, but I'm in Casta radio. True Obaya and a man call radios to focus. Me quite am changing because now you couldn't pay on your or support. But on person the call. True or buyer, and I'm a bar a friend radio so. Or buyer can focus. From focus, you call cuckoo, from cuckoo, you call sources, and then sometimes sources when the guitar radio near Bashapa. If you imagine 209 I'm a say or buyer. Now, I dear Bakwa, where your car money and when I say now 2012 we lose you. Then you know, as a communicator, you today, you Jim Radio show. Or by Yanni Papa was sorry, a cafe, my Indian idea. A team man, my migrator more than against Obaya. Nobody can bring Obaya. Okay, all over the week I make corn of Hampton a year. It might be the Crampa. Mr. Crampa, a chow pa. What I would tell radio one of Hampton, or else
That's him. I mean, we are no better. I'm not saying buy away. Let me fit on in the bar. Everywhere I'm not called there be or buy and can. Obi ba the some so buy am. Was for buy away. No fancy no. It's more radio no a quite trip and or buy and so make it impact. The end is the phone penny kwame or casavi and penny says or buy ya will come with the fact. Or buy a when I can get deputy communication officer and a fatano can the main na the idea won't need. Oh, could there be a menti or Jimmy Kobe? And into no deputy and uncle no. Said it was here so party from there. May see me like my 20 days away the wall. You show or two or no crowd or two becata. Or buy yari or best sorry becata. Then we be to be any of them will do or buy yadaba. And she said, I was on phone now, what to you know, Philadelphia. Fiti and answer and a tina, man, better to a young tia. Say one casta, and let me tea, man, matter we imagine a sota and a board no man. What the man, a large basu, one family comes okay, me. Now, I was on 4 can plan one church, we said you were anyway church. So, why your MPP by my pa, and instead of what you are could penny of a K, and now one call radios, one church, and then what church, mammy, it is for my yakasa. None probing a wood. None and the culture will say. So, external platform, so the anana, we move out that's all. May a crack a culture, no external platform, you meet all. You may meet that the whole country, external platform. What's the need asking him, Mamma? That's what you know. And what you may meet and let me be able to say. It's in a way more, I will see you more. What information you call? I'm going to fish you out. You are not a member of MPP. I'm the radio who now me do by the Valentine.
Quickly, because
hey, your time, but me do be here. Anyway, I mean now it's a message.
That's Papa. Hello.
Hello, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I jingle ni.
I jingle into you.
Because every wrong for. But your buyer, okay, so also tell my team, Kabaya, Casa, 2004 to 2003. Emrana, a year, you know, I'm so by a bus. But the person we catch NPP ones, and beautiful, almost reading Ghana for argument. It end is the phone, get them piano, almost reading Ghana for argument, and no more near my home. From the because NPP to me, yes, I don't know. Almost reading Ghana for argument. Who's a ever trouble and clan? I'm for Kaze. Mamma call out, no cotose. A man for Cassia or bar, no, because of bar bay. San NP and this is for the read caution communicated some gem phenomenon, and when you know, a son, no, my ya. Kaja, a cook and an uncle for the first term, or ye ministers 120. Second term, or ye minister 85 or 87. Or piano or come a year or come. A minister to you in the second term, no. Obiaba, LPP ministers, 120 ministers, 120 ministers. Omakam, not to amount for every, including almost so called say, a professionals. Even Professor Jacob still, 120 now, Nana, and no one, someone, Omoka. I don't know. Omuka sama na to amanfo trim jobe na ka to amanfo trim enti obi aba eno asem no omuka enti ama JNPP beka bia no enya adwuma hwese omo be on to my minister 60 hwe evane se atofo sibedina o okika eniama e de ko me ministers oka railway minister ewo eyino so. And so many railway minister, or can railway minister away in so I'm having a crown or signing a crowd boss. So can say, someone who said, my near man was say, but I'm about to back country and you know yet. And so Opia and come with you. President office, Jessica de call upon no for the 120 ministers, Sika president office no, and this is for the 8 times 5. And so Omko can be Anna. And I'm saying, woman is a ministers need no, and Tom unfortunate. And no coming. Greenwich Eba Casa. Or see, or call Ghana. Or call Ghana no. Your value say, Ghana will be as Ghana here, Naya Yatitis Castle. Jikaso Yatitio, by Niamasu, dear, and Cassia Yamasu. And people tell no come call Ghana every week bia okoba Ghana ya de yentie no mo ba ono koba ya je o to koba ya no Ghana ya de ya tiska to ye okrom amo de yanka no kure all people town na the £100 komo obusuani a no otimi di ne bosome and na me the 150 kura me ma me yanso no 150 anso me ma me o and so koba ya o ti Ghana ya de Ghana obi a se ye sika no o mo teso no e de be na anya ensusaso be na anya na Ghana for so
yate yada se ajingo yamisha okay papa Nini, let's lay you na enko
Valentine.
Yeah.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy, the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. MPP have never regretted anything. God's anger is on you. Let me go to my submission, Valentine. It said, I ask God to give us the open mind because what is right is not always popular. And what is popular is not always right. Look, I ask God to give us to see the vision of MPP, NDC, the vision of NDC. We will make Ghana, we make Ghana, everybody will come to see what is happening in Ghana under John Dramani Mahama. I salute you and Nana Ajima. They are doing extraordinary work. When you are here, because you send money to them, they will tell you, oh, the country is very hard. Look, the way you are communicating here, you cannot communicate that in Ghana. Believe what I'm telling you.
Why,
and
is it because you want to put fear for people to undermine their integrity and also put fear in the people because you think when somebody is speaking against you, you find it very intriguing that somebody is speaking against me, so I have to tame the person because freedom of expression. When you are in position, you did worse. Why are you trying to gag people? When you say that, it is like you want to send a signal to those who want to criticize your government. Don't you think you are underpinning the democracy?
Yeah. We are not oppressing anybody.
Sure?
But the problem is, if you want to say something, say it with facts and bring the proof. That is the reason why this law is going to...
When your people were in opposition, you said something that was in vain. A lot of things that some people said. Guvado killed his wife, all sort of things. You said all these things. I mean, you have forgotten about this piece of action. Then some people took this sentence. And
but
you know it. So you shouldn't bother about this. Govern and give us good governance. That's all. That's what you need.
Yeah, we are giving good governance. That's the reason why when Obosofor come, he said, I salute your mama in Nana Ajuma. I ask blessings for them.
Don't intimidate people. Ask your government not to do that because that one will even give you a bad name so that people will hate the NDC. Don't do that. Give people the chance.
Valentine.
Don't tag people.
Valentine, we don't oppress nobody. You have the right to speak.
Yeah.
But when you speak, make sure you have a proof. That's it. Okay. That's the reason why the law is going to be passed.
All right.
And when the law is passed, Valentine, when the law is passed, it's not only for MPP. It's only for NDC. It's not only for NDC. It's only for MPP as well. Okay. So it's a general law that is going to be passed.
All right.
You see?
All right. Okay. All right. Nini Sudiano no. Deknisi enti oni enko last call ani empon.
Yeah, when you be important what na.
Me yo waswe.
Divine selection yeah come.
Yo.
The chip.
Okay.
Time okay. All the hot all the first cheer with when you be
yeah.
Any bibia and with the from my the woman was nay you need to know and there a problem.
Of course.
And you there problem.
You problem pa.
Good. And with that and what I build for you. Into a proper education and show or then because sometimes it's hard to get any people power and I'm a former war president or say crew or say crew
okay
because in Opoco school no one wants that no me grow no question the grow on my school and when you I'm just running I can let you I'm just running up to come and what oh yeah, and what
me that my ama is a hole. All the hope, all your hole. Talk with them. Bibi ala so talk with them. Talk with them. With that, ebeni. Talk with them. Talk with them. Edit them. Or them. Yes.
Okay.
Talk with them. It's my ama is a hole. There is a hole there. It's a man no holiday. There is so good hole in Obo. And the education of Obo. If you are lady Obo Dala, Obo. It's a human not taking. Every neighbor in Port Charming, the man who the father make a summer community. Mamata. Mamata, maybe I want to you know. I'm at my porch. It's got mobile. A modern. I'm back and word just a what it. Lebia would. And maybe I could. The minimum is Baba. But it's about a car with jacket. Now, one more with the what more. Shall I can with jacket? Down my what it. How I see the witness.
Yeah, I'm sure, Papa. Last caller, 2 minutes near Pon, so far.
Yo, Valentine, Naminchia, Madame Elani, and Yanuma Cassin, and you really see me nearby. Obaya.
Okay. 2 minutes.
Wow. The reason why they hate this, our deputy communication director, is her spirit. They can't stand the spirit within her. Her spirit irritates their demons. Because listen to what Nini said yesterday about Obaya. Oh, no, your storming blog or radio. So, I mean, look at this. If you can't beat them, join them.
Okay.
Well, now Mahama is the hope. On one way, you say, Mahama, are you the hope? Or say no. On one more, joy news, joy for any bisano. Now, I didn't cost woman. I could be to say, Obiabeja can hypocrisy as them. Only hypocrisy as some can, and I say hypocrite near there. Go and tell John Mahama. Now you people all have run away from Galamsey. Your people are doing it right now, and you can't say anything, and you're talking about hypocrisy. What about you? You are a false pretender. You can't talk about Galamsey now on this radio because you have been caught pants down eating ice cream. You can't say anything. Whatever you're going to do is going to follow you. What Shakespeare said, men live by the sword and you're going to die by the sword. This is the same thing that you guys are doing over there.
Okay. Last one. Your time.
You. Near Kosovo, and Ghana, Adani lawless country. Adani, the impunity is too much. Say yeti or memuna broad daylight. I'm robbers to me Bogra police station. Ekobisa police force a motor in a mofer 20 in a man a two. A two AK-47 one you know the cop. Almost you all know the next a gold dealers be almost on me near Bogra, no so much Omako Ramsaki. Almost you know a Sutifi bank, then also Omako Ramsaki. A girl, almost you know a mobile vendor or no teeny baby, no, also the same thing. Now, Oman Bank Cranny. So I didn't know one say only Papa only for your mind, so man is opinion.
Papa. So for a champ for a crowd, Tianco so for no final seminary.
Bless your name. We honor you in Jesus' name. And into Nawasa Maya to say, Obibia, Homie, when you move,
the news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
In the name of Jesus Christ, we magnify your name, we bless your name. In the name of Jesus, we give you praise in Jesus' name. You are mighty God. What a mighty God we serve.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
In the name of Jesus. And read the Bible canon in the book of the Psalms. Or the blessed